At a friend's wedding, someone asked when I'd pop the question. She chuckled and said, "Him? I'd sooner stay unattached forever." The crowd laughed. I quietly placed my drink on a table and walked out. 2 weeks later, she was crashing at her sister's place, pleading for me to pick up her calls. Some realizations hit like a storm. Sudden, overwhelming, impossible to dismiss. Mine struck at the reception of Lisa's best friend's wedding, carried by a wine-fueled laugh and words that cut deep. Let me take you back to how it all unfolded. I'm David, 47, owner of a thriving commercial construction business. I built it from scratch after years of working under others. I'm not flashy. Prefer denim to dress shirts, cottages to luxury hotels, bourbon to Merlot. But I've done all right with properties in 3 states, no loans, and smart investments, the kind of stability earned through years of careful choices. Lisa and I had been together for 2 years. She's 39, a pharmaceutical rep. Stunning, clever, driven. We met when my company was upgrading her office space. The spark was instant, the kind that makes you stumble over your words. Our relationship moved quickly. By 3 months, she was practically living at my house. By 6, it was official. She gave up her lease, moved her stuff in, and we settled into a shared routine. I don't do things halfway. I gave her full access, bank accounts, a credit card, keys to all my properties. If we were partners, I wanted it to feel real. I even started sketching plans for a house I'd build for us, tailored to Lisa's specific tastes, to make her feel at home. Her friends were mostly pharma colleagues or old college pals. Polished types who dined at upscale bistros and attended boutique yoga classes. Not my scene, but I showed up for Lisa. I went to their cocktail parties, fundraisers, and milestone celebrations. They were courteous enough, sometimes asking about construction like they were humoring the electrician. I didn't care. I was there for her. 2 years in, I thought we were solid. We talked about marriage in that vague way couples do. Nothing set in stone, but the door was open. I started thinking about proposing, even browsed rings. I wanted something unique, not store-bought. I'd asked a jeweler friend to craft a custom piece, inspired by a vintage ring Lisa had once admired in a shop window. Then came Sarah's wedding. Sarah was Lisa's closest friend from college. They'd been sorority sisters, roommates, and Sarah was maid of honor at Lisa's first wedding years ago. That marriage collapsed after 18 months when her ex ran off with his assistant. The wedding was extravagant. 500 guests, a grand church ceremony, a reception at the city's priciest venue, open bar, live music, photo stations, the whole deal. I wore my best suit, mingled, danced when needed, played the part. At the reception, Lisa and I were chatting with her friends, mostly couples, all sipping drinks as the night wore on. One of the husbands, maybe Mark, spoke up during a quiet moment. "So, when are you two tying the knot? Lisa getting a ring soon?" Before I could respond, Lisa let out a laugh. Not her usual one, but a sharp, showy one, meant for her friends. "Him?" she said, waving her wine glass at me. "I'd rather stay single for life." The group burst into laughter. Someone patted my back, like they were consoling me. "Tough break, man," another chimed in. "Don't take it personally, David. She's just joking because Sarah's wedding probably cost more than your pickup." More laughs. Lisa piled on, saying, "Honestly, can you picture me in a hard hat signing off on building plans forever?" I didn't smile, didn't argue, didn't make a fuss. I set my glass down, looked at Lisa for a long moment, and walked away. Not just from the group, but from the wedding, the relationship, the future I thought we shared. I heard Lisa calling after me, her tone shifting from playful to confused to worried as I kept walking. I didn't turn around. In the hotel lobby, I called a ride, powered off my phone, and headed to my cabin in the hills. A place Lisa always found too rugged for more than a quick visit. I spent the night on the porch, staring at the stars, feeling an odd peace for someone whose world had just crumbled. By morning, I knew what had to be done. I drove back to the city, waiting until Lisa would be at work. I made calls to my attorney, my financial advisor, my bank. Not out of vengeance, but clarity. When someone shows you their true colors, you don't wait for a second showing. At the house, I packed essentials, clothes, key documents, family keepsakes, leaving the rest. I owned multiple homes. I could replace dishes and decor. What I couldn't replace was my time, and I'd already spent enough. Before leaving, I walked through the house one last time. In the study, I gathered the plans for the house I'd been designing for us, along with fabric swatches and paint samples Lisa had picked. In our bedroom, I retrieved the small box hidden in my closet. The custom ring, finished just days ago, that I'd planned to use for a proposal next month. On the kitchen island, I left my key and a typed note. 1. You have 30 days to find a new place. Utilities will stay on during this period. 3. The credit card is deactivated. 4. Your belongings will remain untouched. Contact my lawyer for any further communication. His details are below. No blame, no emotion, just the facts. Then I walked out, closing the door on a life that meant something different to her than it did to me. I checked into a downtown hotel, turned my phone on, and watched the notifications pour in. 41 missed calls, 59 texts, all from Lisa, each more frantic than the last. Where are you? Why'd you just leave? It was a joke. We were all drinking. You're blowing this out of proportion. Please come back. I ignored them all and blocked her number. The next day, I buried myself in work at my office. Life doesn't pause for heartbreak. That evening, Lisa showed up. My assistant let her in after she refused to leave the front desk. She stormed into my office, eyes puffy, mascara streaked. What's wrong with you? You can't just vanish like that. I was worried sick. I looked up from my desk, steady and clear. I heard you loud and clear last night. You'd rather stay single than be with me. I'm just honoring your choice. It was a joke, David. Everyone teases at weddings. Why are you so sensitive? It wasn't a joke to me, I said. Nor was the idea of you mocking our life together for a laugh with your friends. She shifted gears, going from defensive to aggressive. So that's it? 2 years, and you throw it all away over one dumb comment? This is immature, David. Grow up. I stood, stacking the files on my desk. I am growing up. Growing past staying with someone who doesn't truly want me. I love you, she insisted, reaching for my arm. I stepped back. No, Lisa. You love what I provide. There's a difference. She left in tears, swearing this wasn't over. She was right, but not in the way she thought. Over the next week, her efforts ramped up. She got her friends to call me. Her sister showed up at my office. Even her mom called, saying women sometimes say foolish things and I shouldn't take it to heart. I stayed polite but firm. This wasn't up for debate. It wasn't a timeout. It was a choice, rooted in self-worth. By day 9, Lisa's tone shifted. She'd learned the credit card was cut off, her access to my accounts revoked, and my lawyer had sent notice to vacate the house by month's end. Reality was hitting. Her messages turned bitter, accusatory. I was manipulative. I was punishing her. I was having a midlife crisis. I never truly cared. I stayed silent. Words started this mess. They wouldn't fix it. On day 12, an unfamiliar number called. Thinking it might be work, I answered. It was Lisa's sister, Emma. David, she's falling apart, Emma said bluntly. She's on my couch, crying nonstop, barely eating. Can't you just talk to her? I said all I need to, I replied. She made a mistake. A stupid, careless mistake. She loves you. She's broken. She's broken over losing her lifestyle, I said gently. There's a difference. That's harsh. She really cares about you. Then she shouldn't have mocked me in front of 50 people. Actions have consequences, Emma. So do words, she said softly. I've never seen her like this. She's always been the strong one. She'll recover, I said, not coldly. Lisa's tougher than most. After we hung up, I sat in my office, staring at the city lights. I felt no joy in Lisa's pain, no sense of victory, just certainty I'd made the right call. 2 weeks after the wedding, my property manager called. Lisa had shown up at the house with a moving van, trying to take furniture and art that wasn't hers. He'd blocked her as instructed. She'd caused a scene, threatening lawsuits, loud enough that a neighbor called the police. I thanked him and asked for the security footage. When it arrived, I watched without feeling as Lisa yelled at the manager, tried to barge past, and was calmly told by officers she had no right to enter or take anything without my permission. The next day, my lawyer forwarded an email. Lisa had hired an attorney, claiming a stake in my property based on our partnership and her contributions to our life. I sent back the email chain where she declined my offer to add her name to the deed last year, saying she didn't want the hassle of ownership. Her lawyer dropped the claim a week later. It's been 2 months now. Lisa's in a new apartment, far less lavish than the life she had with me. Through mutual contacts, I hear she's telling everyone I overreacted to a harmless joke. Her friends from the wedding have rallied around her, backing her story. It doesn't matter. I know what she said. I know what it meant. The custom ring is locked in my safe. I'll have it redesigned someday, maybe when the sting of that night fades. The house plans have been revised. I'm building it anyway, but it's my vision now, not Lisa's. It'll be my home, not a compromise. Last week, I ran into Emma at a downtown cafe. She approached cautiously. "She misses you," she said after a stiff hello. "She knows she messed up." "I wish her the best," I said honestly. "But that part of my life is done." "She's struggling, David. Lost her job last month. Couldn't focus. Kept missing meetings. She's still on my couch." I nodded, feeling a pang of sympathy but no second thoughts. "She'll bounce back. Lisa always does." Emma hesitated, like she had more to say. Finally, she added, "I was there that night at the wedding." What she said, it wasn't just the wine. "She's talked like that about you to her friends for years." I appreciated her candor, even if it hurt. I suspected as much. "Thanks for telling me." As Emma left, I realized something. The pain from that night wasn't just about rejection or embarrassment. It was the pain of seeing clearly what I'd ignored for 2 years. The relationship I thought we had was only in my head. Sometimes the best thing you can do is set down your drink and walk away. Not to make a point, not to punish anyone, but because staying would cost you something vital, your self-respect. Lisa's still reaching out, using new numbers when I block the old ones. I hear she's telling friends she'll win me back someday. She doesn't get that this isn't a contest. It's just over. Some might call my reaction drastic. I call it necessary. When someone shows you who they are, especially when they don't know you're listening, trust them. Clarifications, yes. I owned the house outright before Lisa moved in. We weren't married, and my state doesn't recognize common law marriage. She had no legal claim to my properties. For those saying I should have confronted her at the wedding, why? So she could backtrack? Make excuses? 'Cause a scene? My actions said enough. Were there warning signs before? In hindsight, yes. Snide remarks about my job being just construction. Hesitation to meet my family. Cringing when I wore work boots to dinner. I overlooked them, thinking they'd fade as she got to know me. I was mistaken. To the person calling me cold for not giving her another chance, self-respect isn't cold. It's non-negotiable. Update. 3 months later, life moves forward. The house is coming along, foundation set, walls up. I spend weekends at the site, fine-tuning details, making it my own. There's something grounding about creating something exactly as you see it. No concessions. Lisa's stopped contacting me directly. Her sister called once, saying Lisa's in therapy, working on herself. I wished her well and meant it. Holding on to anger is a waste of energy. I've dipped my toe back into dating carefully. Had dinner with a structural engineer I met through a project. Smart, direct, asked good questions, actually cared about my answers. Too soon to say where it's going, but it felt good to talk without pretense. Surprisingly, 3 of Lisa's friends from the wedding hired my company for renovations. I thought the first call was a ploy to get me near Lisa, but no, they genuinely value my work, despite their loyalty to her. Business is business. Respect isn't just about how others treat you. It's about how you respond when they don't. That night at the wedding could have gone another way. I could have argued, demanded an apology, tried to fix things. Instead, I chose to honor what I heard and act on it. No regrets.